Our favorite, solving with fractions. Well, the first thing that I do is I get rid of the fraction, because maybe I don't like fractions like you guys. So if I take this 14 z minus 6 and z minus 1, if I multiply the entire fraction, so remember, I know you guys think, wow, this is like math magic, you're just doing stuff, but if you do the same thing to both sides of the equation, it's still equal. And notice what happens when you do that. Aha, you get rid of the fraction. So you just have 14, and then you have z minus 1. I'm sorry, my z's are going to be ugly throughout. I try to put that line through it so you know it's not a 2. And now from here, I can solve this. So I do that thing the crazy kids are doing with FOIL. So I'm going to do that. 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 So z times z is z squared. I tried to write that a little slower. And then z times negative 6 would be negative 6z. And then negative 1 times z would be negative 1z. And negative 1 times negative 6 would be a positive 6. And I see that I have a quadratic, so I'm gonna move this 14. And in the same step, I'm gonna combine those like terms. So let me not lose my minus 14 there. And so I get 0 equals z squared minus 7z. And then I believe that would be negative 8. Looks like, remember at any time if you're like, well, I'm not really sure if I can factor this, just go straight to the quadratic formula. That will always work. But I think I can factor this. And so I see if I put an 8 and a 1, certainly 1 times 8 is going to give me negative 8. If one of these are negative, well, which one is negative? Always look at the middle term. So the larger one needs to be negative, because now see that I would have negative 8 plus 1 would give me my negative 7. So from here I set these two terms equal to 0, plus 1 equals 0, and z minus 8 equals 0, and I get my answer of negative 1 and 8. And if you watch the video before this about the square roots with extraneous roots, you do kind of need to look right here. Like if one of these answers were 6, you couldn't use it, right? Because you'd be dividing by 0, but that doesn't matter. So that would be my answers.